Firstly, we need to establish where is the workplace. What does their contract say about working from home, working in the office, or both? Was it agreed and was it written down? Was it temporary, permanent, or was it some days or all days? Is there a clause that allows it to be changed now that COVID's finished? Were assurances given by a line manager that working from home will continue after lockdown? It's very important to investigate and find out precisely what the employee thinks the contractual situation, and let's check what's been written down. During lockdown, what's happened is a lot of employees, more than we realise, I think, have changed their location where they live, have altered or reduced childcare, and have gained pets. Some employers quite rightly have been very keen to reassure employees during lockdown. They've been supportive and reassure them because it's been a very difficult time. Some amendments to working arrangements were made because of COVID, and now that's ended. Do those arrangements automatically go back to usual before COVID, or can they stay changed? Like any contractual variation, it's important to agree with the employee. There is no legal right for an employee to unilaterally change where they work and decide they're working from home. If the employer doesn't agree with them and agree to a contractual change, then they're in breach of contract, which may of course lead to disciplinary action. Ultimately, a refusal to attend their place of work in their contract can lead to dismissal if alternatives can't be found and if a compromise can't be reached. Many employers have agreed on hybrid working, which is a combination of working from home, working in the office. It's important to realise what that ratio is between the two. If that can be changed or altered, again, like any contractual variation, it needs to be agreed. You'll be aware of flexible working requests, which people have made before COVID and are making now. It's important to be clear whether someone qualifies to make such a request. They've got to have a certain employment period and they can only make a certain number of requests. The reasons to refuse those are set out in the rules, but essentially lead to reduction in quality of work, ability to meet clients, cost and performance. Beware about requests that may be in relation to childcare, because there's a possible sex discrimination claim that may be brought. Is there evidence available to back up the refusal to the flexible working or not? Just saying you don't like it isn't enough. There needs to be evidence to back it up. So it's important to be able to measure those things. And in fact, it's been helpful for employers to discover and agree why there are problems with the workplace, people working from home. What is going on? Is it reduced engagement? Is it reduced attendance? Is it reduced client service? It's true to say that this has never been tested on a scale before because home working has become huge. Some surveys suggest that something like 50% of employees still want home working to continue full or part-time. Is blended working the answer? A proportion of work at home, proportion of work in the office? Well, that can be agreed by contract depending on work needs, but it also may change. There may be a need for flexibility. Some of the reasons expressed by employees to resist or not go into the place of work are concerned about the possible infection on travel on public transport. And you've also got to show there's a health and safety policy in place at work. It may also be after investigation, you find it's domestic demands like children, pets, elderly relatives, economics and cost that are really stopping them coming back. It's important to consider all the issues. It's important to reach a compromise if possible. It's also important to remind them that actually they're employed to do a job of work, and unless it's agreed to vary under the contract, that's what they must do.